let me open that script, the character script. So we finished the uh, random generation for when the character has the correct information. And now, last time we started to work on the code to make fake info. But I made a mistake at some point because I was trying to update the UI from within the character script, and we want to do it from the game manager. Not, and the reason is we have all the elements here of the UI in the game manager, so it doesn't make sense to do it in the character. So instead, we just generate the information and we'll update the UI from the game manager. So let's see if the info is not correct. So for the age, we just add or remove some random amount between -3 and 3. For the country, you see while the country text and the country flag are the same, we keep generating until we get random one. For the expiration date here, we make it we subtract from the current year some amount, and the month and day are completely random. And then for the item, in here we just change one item, but I was thinking maybe we should change multiple. That's what I was thinking. So this is just a random index to transform one item to that. So in here, yeah, so we select, you see, we select a random item from the list and from the declared, so from the inventory and from the declared items. And while those are equal, we generate a random one into that until we get a different one. So let's see, what else do we need here? Items. I don't know why do we even have gender here? I'm not sure. Okay, so I think it's time to work on to update the UI. So it will be a bit boring, this part, unfortunately, because we have to add all of these elements that we created to the script. So the inspector, this is the whole UI. See?
Yes.
But I made a mistake. I forgot to add those buttons there actually. So I have to add these buttons to the UI holder. And you see now we have an issue with that. And I think the reason is, yes, we do have this horizontal layout. You see, let me see that, how big that is. It covers the whole screen. Well, yeah, that is an issue because you see, if I close this, we still have the buttons there. We can try something a bit different. We can try something different. Okay.
Yes.
Let's instead delete those buttons. And instead of using the UI, let's use the workspace. So what you don't know is that you can add UI in the workspace. So for example, this guy here. What we do is we create a canvas here inside the player, the character. Sorry. So we say UI and we say canvas. And right now this is a normal canvas, but we can change it to world space like that. And this will behave like a sprite now. We have to specify the camera apparently, so let's drag the camera in here. A world space canvas. We don't specify event cam. Okay. Um, well, you see, we have an issue here because if we just set this camera, event camera to our camera, that will work. But we do spawn these characters at runtime, and when we spawn these, we don't already know the camera. So what we have to do is modify it by script. So we want this to be on top of everything. So I'll just create here a sorting layer and just say this is a UI. And then we can change this sorting layer to UI. And we'll want a couple of things here. But first, let's rename it to set deny or deny canvas. And for each character, it will be different because what I want to do here is place the buttons, the accept and deny buttons on top of the player. So, and the players have different sizes, so we'll have to that position will differ depending on the character. So now we can go to our character script here, and I'll just say UI stuff. So we want the public, private canvas. Oh, and here when we generate the information at the end, we must say that is clean is equal to info correct. So whatever that variable is, either true or false, we'll save it so we know that this character is true. Now we have to create those elements, and to do it, so what we'll do is we'll have an image covering this player, okay, this character. So we go to the canvas and that so UI image. Oh, but first we have to resize this because you see it is much bigger than the. So let's make it position 0, 0, 0, and then we make it 1 by 1. You see? Now we have a canvas that is 1 by 1. Just to be sure, let's make it 2 by 2. And now we want to add an image here. So an image. And we want this to cover the player, the character, sorry, the character completely. Or something like that. And now we can make it invisible. So this will enable the buttons. Okay. So we'll call this buttons enabler. Enable accept. But before that, let's make sure that it stretches with the screen size. So for a second, I will make it visible so we can drag those anchors in the corners. to be completely honest, I don't know how anchors works in world space. I don't know. Now we'll make an empty UI element. So this will be the accept or deny folder. But looking at this, we need to increase the size of this canvas. So let's try 3 by 3, something like that. Now we'll drag the folder where we want those UI elements to be, resize it a little bit. And unfortunately, I do not have icons for this, I think. Let's see. Let's see. Because I'd like to have like a heart icon to accept and some other one to deny the character. Excuse me. Okay. Excuse me. Okay, sorry, Stefan.
No problem. I was looking on my files. Maybe I have a heart or something.
I need like I think I do have some assets. I just have to download them. Let's see. But I'd like to see how these look first. Oh, not this one. Yeah, here you see. I'll use
Yes.
this. I'll use this for that. Okay, it's in project, I think. Okay, so we have these two buttons now in the holder here. So we just make a button, UI button. But you see it is very big, so let's change it to 1:1 size. And now we add our right to this. Okay, so this will be the accept button. Might replace it later. The image is big to big. Let's try 0.5. For some reason, it's not visible. Oh, it is actually visible. But I think it's better. The other ones were better. Yep, which is the other ones. So this will be then the deny button. Let's make sure that we preserve the aspect so that display which is in the same resolution. So we want this to be bigger. What we'll do is we'll increase the canvas size, something like that. Um, we can now take the holder, increase it, and this will increase with it. So we'll move it a little bit on the x-axis. Plus the delay button, we'll just copy this one, call it accept. And now we need a sprite from here. So I think this one is nice. So now we'll look at the deny button on the x-axis. We'll just copy that value into the accept button, but put a minus there. And we want this image to be flipped here. So we need to look at the rotation. I think it's yes, it's the Y. So we just say 180. Okay, and now it is on the other side. Okay, so something like that. And now we want to see these buttons only when we click the character. So we need to do a couple of things. We need the canvas because we need to add the camera. Yes. Let's just make a script for that. That's a short script, very short script. Add camera canvas. Add it here. So the first thing we need to do is we want to get in the start function the canvas component, and then we add that the main camera to the canvas. So we say canvas voice start canvas equal get component. So now we take the canvas component and place it in the variable, and after that we just set the canvas. We say canvas event is this the camera? I don't know. We'll see. We'll actually test it. So let's say equal camera main. So let's test it first. So as you can see now we have some UI elements in the world space. But we do have an error. So let's see now we have to, oh yeah, my bad. Item folder of game manager, that makes sense. So let's just stop the game manager. And then I forgot also to add the script here, add camera to canvas. So we get errors because in the game manager we have the code, but we forgot what the UI elements. So I just disable it completely, so we can test the canvas. So now if we go to this, we should see, yeah, it does work, you see.
Yes.
And it also recommends that we use this vertex color. I don't know what that is, but I'll just check. So now we want to display this Well, the thing is, we also need the game manager, and I think we have it here. Yes, we do need it because we'll have to accept or deny from the, game manager. So by default, this is not this is disabled. But before that, let's make sure that the anchors are in the correct colors. Let's do the same for these buttons. So the deny here, and same for the accept. Okay. I'll just change the resolutions to make sure it is the same for all. Yep, seems okay. Let's look at the game. Now we have to make a function that will enable and disable this. But first, this holder, because we can make this in multiple ways. This holder. For example, we can make an animation. We can start from a small size like this, and then increase it over time. But I'd like just to fade the transparency. So in that case, we select our holder of these buttons, and we add the canvas group component because we want to modify the alpha on of all these of both those objects at the same time. So let's see, alpha is 1, interactable, blocks raycast. So I'll just disable it and make it 0 transparency by default. And here on this, now I'm looking at this and it is the incorrect size now. So we have to resize it. So this will just be an image that we make transparent to be able to select the player, the card. So like that, and let's place the anchors as well. And let me know if you have questions.
No, no. I'm still here
Isabella,
and
still here?
still following.
Hello?
Yes.
Oh, sorry, I was
Okay.
sorry, my volume was at 0. Sorry, I did not hear anything you said.
Oh, no, no problem, no problem.
Okay, so we have this image here on top of the player in world space. So we can now add to it event trigger components. So what this does is you can do stuff on different interactions. For example, on click we want, so pointer click, or actually not click, pointer down. Okay. So now we have to make that function here. The character. So we have the canvas here, but we don't need the canvas. Actually, we need that holder. So let's say canvas group accept PG and also public, or no, like private. And this is children over children. So in that case, we have to get it in the start function. Or actually, we don't need to do that. We can just drag it. So we go to the main object, the character here, and drag that. Um, but we cannot drag it, of course, because we made it private. So it needs to be public. But there is another way to do this. Actually, let me show you that while so you can say private, and here you can say serialize field like that. So that this way, this will be private, but you can still see it here in the inspector, and I'll make it private. And the reason is we don't need to access it from the other places. So we go to the character here and just add that. Okay, and now we have to, depending of if this is enabled or not, we do some code. But let's say here, private bool. Um, let's say accept or deny coroutine. Let's just say active. Okay. So by default this is false. So we have to say here void start. By default it's false. So we want this to happen over time. Oh, and also we want to do this only if the character, if this is the character that we are trying to verify. So we have to say here public pool is current character. By default is false. And the coroutine now, but we cannot add the coroutine, so we'll have to wrap that coroutine to a function. So let's say enumerator enable right? Kind of a long name. Let's just go set active accept or deny. So let's copy some code from a folder here. This is a script that we use to fade stuff. In this case, we want to fade the transparency of that canvas group, but we want to do it depending on if that object is active or not. So here we'll say if and also at the start we say accept or deny active. Now it becomes true. So with this we know if the coroutine is running or not. But now I made a mistake as I copied paste that and deleted this stuff. So we say if that object is enabled. So if this game object active self, so that means if this is either true or false depending if it is active or not. So if it is active, then that means we want to fade it back to completely invisible and then disable it. So let's do that. We'll copy this one. So here we say inside of this we need the alpha of that canvas group, and we need not vector3 but matfler because it's just one value. And in this case we don't need to make variables for the end value and the beginning value because we know that we start from 1 and go to 0. Oh, and also this should last a certain amount of time. So let's see here load time, let's say duration. So fade, fade duration. So here after that we say that this object becomes inactive. Active false. And else, so if it is not active, then we want to activate it. So we do the same thing, but now from 0 to 1. And also at the beginning we activate it. Okay. And at the end we say that this bool is false, so we know we finished with the coroutine. And now we'll make a function. Oh, and also we need to say here, you say this is red because when you use coroutines you have to add system collections. So using system collections. So let's make a function that is public, so public void start. Then we just copy the name of that. And here we check if this is not true, then we can start it. So we say start continue. This with, let's say, 1.5 1 second. 1 second. So that fade lasts 1 second. So now we add this to our event here. And we have an error somewhere. Yes, here you see I forgot how to activate this. Do you have questions?
No, not right now.
Okay. So now we can add that function to the event on that image. But it might not work. Oh, let's see. So let's just say here plus the object is the player. And then the function is start set active accept or deny. So when we play the scene now, if I click on it, we should see those buttons. So I click. Let me zoom in. Yes, but there are a couple of issues. Okay, one is these icons here. I think they overlap with the. Yes, they do overlap. You see. Um, hmm, that's an issue. What if I just say no, do not preserve aspect? Nope. I think I know what the issue is. I'll fix it in a second. Let me go to that image and sprite. Oh, yep, that's the issue. We have to modify this a little bit. Okay. So because it has a lot of empty space. Okay, so they should fix it. Uh, Now it's not visible at all. I don't understand what it is. Oh, okay. I'm not sure what the issue is. But now if I go here and try to add that, it does not work. So I'll just make a new button instead. Set it to 1 by 1. Try that again. Yeah, so now it does not work, and I think I know why. Uh, yeah, that is the issue. We have a lot of empty space around the icon. So when we click the player, the buttons overlap with the image above the player. Uh, full rect, what does that do? Well, let me see if the other one works better. Uh, so this is the accept. Yep, that has the same issue. We have so a bunch of, but it is fixable. It is fixable. So what we'll do is instead of having the button in here, okay, we'll remove it from both. And here in the deny button, inside of it, we'll make this image does not have a border. Wait, what? Simple. Preserve aspect again. I don't know why that was. So let's make a button inside here. Without the text, so we'll delete the text. Change that to size. I'll just add some sprites here. I just want a white square, a circle, so that way we can change the sprite of this to this. And now we set it so that it is the size of that image. So this will be our button now. Make it slightly transparent so you can see it. You can see the icon below. So something like that. So this will be the button instead. So deny button. So instead here we'll say deny button holder, so that differentiate those. I'll just copy paste this inside the accept button. So this will be accept button. That will be the accept button holder. So now we can change the transparency of this to 0. Okay, and I think that should fix it. So let's test first. So let's make the alpha 0 of this and disable it. Try again. So I click. So now we have this. But you see, we click on those and they're not affected by this. So they do not have a visual effect. Those buttons. So what I think we can do is we can make an animation for those. So let me just enable the alpha so we can see this. But before that, what will be nice is in the game manager we can enable this inspector by pressing a certain key. Um, okay, so I think we'll stop for today, and the reason is I will have to add all of these UI elements here, the game manager, and we'll continue building next time.
Yeah, sure.